So I'm not sure exactly how this conversation is going to go. I just know that I feel called to talk about this, and I'm not sure what's allowed to be used or said on YouTube. Um, like, am I allowed to say sex? I don't know. Intimacy? I don't know. I guess I'll just go with intimacy. Um, or do I say sex? I don't know. But I just feel called to talk about this. Um, kind of talk about my journey, and I kind of want to be like a big sister to whoever is watching this because I feel like I didn't have this person to really guide me or teach me, and like I wish I had that person, so I kind of want to be that person for another person. Um, so I guess I'm just gonna start with my journey. I feel like the only thing I ever remember learning about sex was basically do not do it or you will get pregnant and die. That's the only thing I ever remember learning about it. It was basically just do not do it. That's it, period. And also, I was kind of in, like, my mom was religious Christian. My dad was, I don't know, he didn't really have like a religious belief. Um, and I didn't really talk about that with my dad at all. But my mom, I remember she like sat me down and had a conversation, and it's basically just don't do it. That was it. So, good luck telling someone just don't do it, and then like not really giving them any guidance, like when it comes to anything to do with that, right? Um, is basically like just don't do it until you're married. Yeah, okay. That didn't really go over too well. So after I recorded that video, I realized there were a couple things I forgot that I wanted to talk about. So I cut my hair, but I'm wearing the same shirt. But yeah, what I wanted to add. So before I even engaged intimacy with another person, previously before that, uh person that I was with who was like my first love, I wasn't like we weren't, we hadn't done that yet. We hadn't gotten intimate with each other yet. And I was like terrified of it, right? I was terrified. I was not ready. I was scared as hell. I was like, no. Um, and we ended up breaking up, and he started dating another person like a month later, and I was basically like I was so heartbroken. That was like the biggest heartbreak of my life, right? And it almost gave me this mindset, like I had this belief that because I wasn't intimate with him, he left me for another person. So it left me with this belief that like if I'm not intimate with this person, they're gonna leave me for another person. Um, and so that has kind of, leaked into my dating life moving forward after that. Like I felt like I had to rush to be intimate with a person so that they didn't leave me or didn't stop talking to me. So that like really affected me. And what I would like to tell other people is, don't feel rushed to be intimate with another person. You know, you have the ability to say no when you don't want to do it. I didn't feel like I had the ability to say no or speak up for myself. Um, and like using protection if you do decide to, be intimate with a person to, and, use protection. And if you ask to use protection and the person doesn't want to use protection, you can be like, no, we're not doing this then if you're not going to use protection. So, you know, stick up for yourself. Do not give in to people who try to peer pressure you, because been plenty of situations that I've been in, like pressured to do things with a person that I don't want to, and they're just like continuously pressuring me. Um, yeah, so stick up for yourself. It's your body. You get the final say. You get to, say yes or no, what you do want to do, what you don't want to do. Consent, right? So basically, The first time that I ever my first time, honestly was not my choice, which looking back, like I kind of just like put that out of my mind, like, and like looking back now, it's like my first time doing it wasn't even like my choice. Like I didn't even choose, like I didn't want to do it, I didn't choose to do it. That's gonna mess a person up. Like I feel like I didn't understand the weight or gravity of that until more recently. Like, yeah, that's gonna mess a person up. Um, my boyfriend at the time, we were kind of like, we were, doing other things. Um, and he kind of just did it without me like giving consent to it. And he told me, and I was like, what? And I freaked out and I bawled my eyes out in his kitchen. I remember that. I bawled my eyes out because I was like, what? No, like, no, I didn't, like, what? I didn't approve of that. Like, anyways. So that was my first experience with it. My second experience with it was, you know, so I didn't even consider my first time my first time. I was like, that's not my real first time. My real first time was the second time that it happened. Which wasn't that great of an experience, just like it's painful, whatever. Um, and so like continuing after that, I was just so disconnected, like from my body, from the experience. It was just very disconnected. Like to me, it was just like, I don't know, it's just a disconnection. Like it wasn't like something that you're like intimately sharing with another person. It was just very disconnected. It was just like an act, like it was just like whatever, basically. Kind of sad, but that's how it was for me. And yeah, it wasn't until later in like around 23 or so, because that happened when I was like, I don't know, 14 or 15, probably 15. Um, and it wasn't until I was like 23 where I had an experience with someone where I was like, wow, there's something more to this. This is more than just, you know, the physical act. Like there's something deeper to this. And I don't like I think that kind of just like shifted my perspective a little bit, but not like completely as much as my perspective is about it now. Um, my perspective about it now is more on like a spiritual level, on an energetic level, like you're kind of combining energies with another person. Like it's deeper than just like the act of being physical with another person. And it has to be, personally for me, it has to be deeper than that too. Like I'm not just going to be intimate with someone just to like do it. Like it has to be deeper than that. But yeah, I wish I had someone kind of explain to me, because you're taught to just like don't do it, but I think it's more than that. Like yeah, just don't, I don't really believe in just doing it just to do it, because it's like it's deeper than that. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's like deeper than that. Like it kind of, ties you to another person, and then like if things end, it's like way worse, and it's just emotionally it just makes things worse for you, right? So it's important to do that with someone that you feel safe with. Um, and being like intentional with the other person, like both people being intentional with it, um, is very important. And now at this point, like if I'm dating someone and there is a disconnect between us, my body will basically reject them. Like my whole body just like rejects them, which is crazy. And your body knows more than you do, honestly. So listen to your body. Um, if it's not like working, if it's not flowing, if it's not working, there's a reason. There's a reason why it's not working. Your bodies are like rejecting each other. You're not being um intentional with each other. And yeah, and please, men, if you're watching this, please, men, um, I mean, and girls, there's too much of just using another person's body to pleasure yourself. Um, you need to be considerate. Obviously, that's like a human being. Like they're not just a physical object to use. And so please stop using these women as your, way to experience pleasure. Oh, this is another thing because I feel like the women's experience with sex and men's experience with sex is like two kind of different energies, especially with self-pleasure as well. And I know there's like a lot of shame around, both sides, like men and women, shame with self-pleasure. And what I have, I'm trying to be, I don't know, express how I want to express this. What I have seen online and from my own personal experience, I know that men, it's so for both people, our sexual energy is our life force. It's like a life force energy. And for men, for you to retain that life force energy, I know that can be beneficial to you versus releasing that life force energy and just like, releasing it, whether like with yourself or with another person, you're releasing that life force energy versus like, keeping it inside you. Or I know there's like, I don't know, different techniques. You can do the research on your own. I'm not well versed in the male area. But for women, I know self-pleasure can actually be really good for a woman, especially like your hormones, like the hormones that it releases when you do self-pleasure, and just gaining like autonomy over your own body and your own pleasure, and like releasing that shame that we have around self-pleasure, and you're allowed to have pleasure, and living a more pleasurable life is actually like better. Why wouldn't you want to live a more pleasurable life, right? Do you want to live a miserable life? No, probably not. So the more pleasure that you can experience in your life, the more relaxed your nervous system's going to be, and more abundance. It's like the feminine energy, like more pleasure. You need more pleasure, girl. So get comfortable with yourself, learn what you like, and enjoy it. And don't let anybody else make you feel shameful or bad for that, because I know that's a very like shameful, taboo thing. And honestly, once you are able to figure out what you like and you get comfortable with yourself in that, it's like that can be even better than being with another person. Like you don't need to give yourself up to another person to experience pleasure. You can actually make a very enjoyable experience with yourself, and you don't need another person to fulfill that. And I actually sell some tools, some self-pleasuring devices that you can use with yourself. Crystals. They're beautiful, high-frequency crystals. Yoni wands, great for self-pleasure, great for increasing your sexual energy, your life force within you. And yeah, you can check those out on I have a link in my bio. Go check them out. They're beautiful. Highly recommend. I think that's mostly what I wanted to say. just think about what you're gonna do before you do it. Really think about it. And try to make the best decisions for yourself. And I think that's it. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. But that's all. Okay. Bye.